Today we're going to walk you through the application of putting Reefer Bond onto a repaired trailer. To get started, what we have is a canister of Reefer Bond, we have a 12-foot hose, and we have an 18-inch spray gun. So you hook the hose to the gun and then tighten it firmly, hook the hose to the canister, tighten it firmly, turn the valve on the canister, you'll hear it pressurize. Then take your spray gun and spray some into a box or on a piece of paper, see what your spray pattern looks like. One thing you want to note is don't take the hose and gun off of the tank unless you put it on a fresh tank. This is a closed system, so it requires you to keep fresh glue in the system to keep it from curing. If you take it off and the hose and gun off of the tank and leave it off, you will cure out the hose and gun. When you have an empty canister, what you do is you're going to bleed off the pressure off the hose, turn off the valve, bleed off the pressure. When that's completely done, then you can take the hose off, attach it to a new canister, pressurize the new canister, and it will then put fresh material on the hose. You spray it a little bit, make sure you're good there, and then you can go to the process of disposing of the used canister. You're going to flip it on its side, turn the valve, get all the pressure off of the canister. Once that's done, then you're going to punch a hole in the knockout, and then you can throw away the canister as normal trash. Now, to clean the hose and gun, if you're not going to use them again, you take the hose and gun off, you hook it up to a S101 cleaner canister, you spray it until it's completely clean, then you can just leave the gun and hose attached to the canister of cleaner. There are three versions of the spray guns. There's a regular version with no extension, there's a 24-inch extension, and an 18-inch extension. Most people use the 18-inch extension so that they don't have, when they're reaching across the liner and to the truck, they don't have to stretch as much. We're going to start off spraying. What we do is we make sure, first off, most important is that you have the proper PPE equipment. That's personal protection equipment. That would include a suit, a half mask, respirator, goggles, and gloves to spray this product. Every person in the trailer that is involved in the spraying process needs to wear personal protection equipment. So when we start spraying, typically we'll start on the wall or on the liner, depending on which one you prefer. You want to stay about 1 foot away. That gives you the proper spray pattern in most cases. If you're too close, you put on too much adhesive. And you can tell that by the amount of adhesive that actually wets up together. And then too far away doesn't allow for enough adhesive on the foam or the liner for it to stick together properly. So after we spray the adhesive, you let it dry. Typically that's 4 or 5 minutes, and you'll be able to tell that by touching the adhesive with your finger. If it doesn't come off on your finger but is tacky, then the parts are ready to put together. If it sticks on your finger, that means it's still wet and you need to give it a few more minutes to cure out properly. So once we're done with that, the liner has been placed in the cove, rolled down, this is for a full trailer, rolled down, held down with load locks. After you've sprayed both sides, then you undo the load locks, bring in the people, usually 3 to 8 workers, and they begin slowly rolling the liner up from the bottom. And as they do, they try to keep from making any bubbles, because once this product is stuck together, once the sides meet each other, you can't remove them. So you want to make sure that this liner is in proper position before you start rolling the liner up the wall. If there's molding at the top of the trailer, you stop your spray process 6 or 8 inches from the top so that you'll be able to fold your molding back up, fold your liner back up into your molding. That way you won't have a problem with it sticking before you have put it into the molding. If it's a partial wall, typically they're done where you spray it and you roll it back from left to right or right to left, depending on how you're doing it. And you have a couple of people helping you to keep the wall in position. It's a much easier job to do than a full wall, but you still need at least 2 people to help you roll it out so that you make sure that it ends up in the correct position. After you're done, you pat the wall down, make sure it's stuck properly. Then you take a roller, or some people use 2x4s or 4x4s, and just rub down the whole wall to make sure that all the places are stuck properly and the 2 sides have adhered. You have to be sure to roll it out correctly, because once it's bonded, you won't be able to pull it back apart. So you need to make sure before you're rolling the liner up that you have the exact location that you want to put it. So the total process from spraying to rolling the liner out should take about 45 minutes, depending on the size of the wall. If it's a half wall or quarter wall, obviously it's going to be a lot shorter period of time, but for a full 53-foot, 10-foot high wall, it takes about 45 minutes for the whole process. Now this is a great improvement on the old process, which took probably 6 or 8 hours just to put the product together and another 24 hours for it to cure before you could take the load locks off and then be able to get the trailer back to your customer. Our process allows you to get the trailer back to your customer that day if necessary. For more information, please click on the link below or contact us at 972-979-4695.